Just wanted to do a quick video for you all, and this is going to be discussing how we can set up a virtual exhibition using the artsteps.com website, which is a free virtual exhibition space. So I'll take you through how we set up a virtual exhibition using their design website. So I'm just going to go to artsteps.com. And then you have to register with them by signing up here. Where you just put in your email address and your details. This is completely free. I've already signed up with them, so I'm just going to go to their sign-in page and use my details that I had previously used to register and sign in. You can see here when you sign in, you can actually view current exhibitions that they're holding, so other users. So if you want some sort of inspiration to what your exhibition or gallery space can look like, it might be a good idea to go through some of these exhibitions that are currently offered and have a look around. There's a good contemporary photography one here, published a year ago. So this might be a good place to start to see what's sort of on offer currently and give you some inspiration. When you are ready to create an exhibition space, all you have to do is at the top of the screen, select Create, and then the design space will load with all of their options of how you can make a gallery space. Now it's completely up to you how large or how small you'd like your gallery space to be. Probably consider beforehand, before making the exhibition, of how many works you'd kind of like to show in your exhibition. So once it loads, there's a 5-step phase to the design process. So number one up the top here is designing the space, defining your space, I should say, and then design your space, number three is where you add and place your, what they call artifacts. This is the section in which you would place your artworks. And then you can have the option of planning a guided tour. So instead of people just wandering aimlessly around the works, you can plan a guided tour for them to follow. And then you can finally publish your exhibition. The good thing about it is that you can, at any time during the process of designing your space, you can save it and return to that later. So it might be a good idea to just have a little wander around this process, have a play around with some of the tools. If you do like something you've designed, you can always save it and then come back to it at a later date as well. So this is the base for how you design your exhibition. And what we do on this is a construction sort of base. At the construction tools at the top here, you'll see you've got placing walls, and then you can place doors within those walls as well. We're in the create your own, which is the default at the moment, but they also offer templates. So you could look through their templates and you might find a space that they have on offer to use for your exhibition. For this one, I'm going to show you guys how to sort of design your own space. The top left-hand side of the website here, you see the first tool is to start placing a wall. If you click on this, and you can begin drawing with this in any direction you want to start. And you see it's quite easy just to continue adding wall space as you're going along. So I'm just going to make a quick space here and join it up the top. Now, if you do build a wall and you're not happy with the design, clicking on the construction wall again, you'll see it now turns into stop placing the wall. If you click on that, and your cursor will change. If you click on a wall, you see you now have the option to delete the wall. If you want to rebuild that wall, you just have to click on the construction wall again to bring it back to start placing a wall, and you can draw it again. You can use the door tool here as well. You can place a door, start placing a door. So I'm going to have a front door as well. So you can make your space as large or as small as you like. And I'm just going to go ahead now and begin building my space. My gallery space, I've just made it a little bit wider. I've also put in a feature wall here, put in a little room. This room could be used for anything, probably more like an office for sales and things like that. So the idea is to make it sort of a space that you would see in real life. So now that I'm happy with the overall space and how I've defined it, I'm going to go to the second option here, which is design your space. So this is where you would just add in the carpet, the color of the walls. If you want to have them different colors, you can make it brick and all sorts of things. So you've got lots of options here to use, lots of colors and lots of different textures as well. I'm going to begin with the color. I'm going to make sure that the walls are white. They default to white anyway, but I'm going to actually add a black wall in here as well. Now at any time you can click on the outside of this space to move it by clicking and holding in your mouse, so you can sort of see it from a different angle. So I'm going to use black here, and I'm going to create a black wall, and that's going to be a sort of feature wall. Maintain it white on this side, black on that side, and that's because I have some works I think might be a little bit better working on a black wall than the white one. And then I'm going to go along and add a texture. Excuse me. And keep the texture white. Let's see what the floor looks like white. So this is giving it a white concrete look. You can change the color of that also. This might be a better concrete floor look. That's better. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. And then to make it look quite real, I'm going to go along and add textured brick to the outside of my gallery as well. So I rotate it. So see, very easy to use. The hardest part about their website is the navigation panel, as in holding it down and navigating it to the correct position. It can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes the angles aren't always the best. You can use your mouse scroller in and out to zoom as well. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to keep it fairly simple. The next step is to add in my artworks. You don't have to think too much about this design process, you can keep it quite simple, but the next step that we need to do is the add and place artifacts. And this is where you will put in your actual artworks or images of your artworks. When you click on add and place artifacts, you see they've got an option here. They've got some display cases that you can use. There's a display case here. It looks a little bit like a table. And I'm going to actually slot that in. And now once I slot it into a position, I'm going to treat this display case like a table. Once I've slotted it in, you'll see that you come up with these 3 arrows on it. And this is how we can change the position of it in any direction we wish. Now, another option you have here, to see these are the tools for the artifact that you put in. You can always delete something. You can rotate it and you can change the scale of it also. So if I click on scale, these arrows now become blocks. And you can see it actually changes. I'll just zoom in a little bit more so you get a better view. Changes the dimensions of that object that you've placed in there. And this is, I'm going to treat this like a table here. And it'd be quite nice to use a table for our opening night. Or as it says, it's a display case, so you could also use that to display some works. The most important part that we're wanting to do, though, is the artifacts page section here. And you can see you've got options for the artifacts. You can place images, videos, 3D objects, or even text as well. Mostly you'll be working with images. If any of you have done video, you can include video in there as well. And this is where you would upload your images, your JPEG images of your works that you want in the exhibition. So to do that, we just have to click on Add Image. Now it defaults to this Flickr API asset, which is not what we're using, but in the drop-down menu, if you select File, it will give you an option to upload your own file. So if you click on the empty box, you can then navigate to wherever you keep JPEG images of the works you want to be showing. I'm just going to go to some old images of mine and hit choose. So you can see this is the image I'm going to upload and use as an artifact in my exhibition. And here in this section is where you'll put in the details of that image. So you would give it a title. Now I'm going to call this one statue number 1. And then you'll put in the description of the image. Now, this image here I'm using is a silver gelatin print done in the darkroom. You would put in the dimensions of it, and I know how large mine are, so I'm going to put in the dimensions of it. You would put in the artist's name as well, the date it was created, and I remember this was from 2010, and then also you would put in a price. And once you've got in the description of that, we hit save, and it will upload your image into the artifacts section. So you can see now I've got one artifact and I've got a image there to insert into my exhibition. Now I'm just going to select a wall for this to go on, and I'm going to have it on this feature wall here. So if I click on my artifact and bring my mouse over, you see that now I have a small thumbnail of my image that I'm going to place on the wall. I'm just going to zoom in a bit more and move this around so it's in a better view. You can see it's a little bit difficult to navigate. Again, select on my image, and I'm going to place it in the middle of this wall. Once you place it, you can see that again the tools come up with move, rotate, scale, or remove the image or delete it. I'm going to use the scale button here. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger on that wall. And I'm just trying to imagine how it's going to look on that wall if I was visiting it in a gallery. And I'm just going to use the move button here to move it so it's a little bit centered. And another really nice option that they have for this artifacts as well is you can actually put a frame, a virtual frame around your work. So I'm going to use a black and white frame here. It looks like a black frame with a white border. So that's a nice little touch that this website offers as well. Once you're happy with it, I would hit save. We'll save your exhibition. And what's a really nice thing to do is as you're going, you can select view in the top right hand corner, and you can have a preview of how your exhibition will look. So you've got the little mouse cursor here, drags you around the exhibition space so you can view how your works are going to look on the wall. Now, when I click on the work on the wall, this here is where all those details that you put in come up. So visitors that are visiting this website can virtually go through your exhibition. They can click on an image that they like. It will tell them the name, the details of the print or the photograph, artist name, and every other detail that you put in there. So they really treat it like a real exhibition. And I began hanging my exhibition, so to speak. I'm going to continue on adding in images of my work to finish the exhibition space. Again, put in all the details for each image you do with the descriptions as well.